Ever wondered about the secret bunkers the US government might have? Well, let's plunge into the depths of the unknown and explore one such covert shelter. Picture this, the Greenbrier Hotel in West Virginia, a classic symbol of luxury and elegance. But it hides a secret so profound that it could turn your perception of reality on its head. Beneath this lavish hotel, unbeknownst to the unsuspecting guests, lies a clandestine bunker. But this is not just any bunker. It is a massive, fully equipped fortress designed to house none other than the members of Congress in the event of a nuclear attack. Yes, you heard it right, a nuclear fallout shelter for the power players of the US government. What's more intriguing is the sheer scale and sophistication of this hidden bunker. Spanning over 100,000 square feet, this underground fortress was designed to sustain several hundred people for a prolonged period. It was a self-contained world, complete with dormitories, a hospital, a broadcast center, and even a power station. This bunker remained a well-guarded secret for 3 decades, right under the noses of the hotel guests. It was maintained in a state of constant readiness by government employees working undercover as hotel staff. It was only in the early 90s that this secret bunker was finally exposed to the public. In the grand scheme of things, the Greenbrier bunker gives us a fascinating glimpse into the lengths the US government is prepared to go to ensure continuity in the face of potential catastrophe. It also raises a tantalizing question. If this is the bunker we now know about, what other secrets might be buried beneath our feet? Imagine the secrets those walls could tell. Did you know the government once dabbled in mind control? Let me take you on a journey back to the Cold War era. As the East and West locked horns, the US government embarked on a covert operation that reads like a science fiction novel. This was none other than the infamous Project MK-Ultra. Project MK-Ultra was a clandestine operation, spearheaded by the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill spy operation. No, it was a venture into the realm of the mind, an exploration of the untapped potential of human consciousness. The objective was to study mind control, chemical interrogation, and other forms of psychological manipulation. Imagine an operation so covert, so shrouded in secrecy, that most of the official records were destroyed in the early 70s. The little we know today is based on a cache of documents accidentally overlooked during this purge. These documents paint a picture of a program that tested the limits of ethical science. The operation involved the administration of drugs, notably LSD and other chemicals to unwitting subjects. Hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse were also used, all with the aim to alter and control the human mind. The subjects, some of them mere civilians, were often left with irreversible physical and psychological damage. Project MK-Ultra was not a single program but a collection of projects spread across various institutions, including universities, hospitals, prisons, and pharmaceutical companies. The CIA outsourced many of these projects to maintain plausible deniability, adding another layer of secrecy to an already shadowy operation. The revelation of Project MK-Ultra in the 70s sparked a public outcry, leading to various congressional investigations. Yet despite the controversy and the supposed termination of the project, many continue to speculate about the extent of the program and whether it truly ended. Quite chilling, isn't it? The thought that the government once embarked on a quest to control the human mind, to turn individuals into unwitting pawns, is a stark reminder of the lengths to which power can push ethical boundaries. As we delve deeper into the world of government secrets, one can't help but wonder, what other secrets remain buried beneath the surface? Did you know there's a secret train station under New York City? This isn't the start of a mystery novel, but a peek into the clandestine history of the United States. We're going to take you on a journey to Track 61, a concealed railway platform beneath the hustle and bustle of the iconic metropolis. Track 61 is more than just a hidden piece of infrastructure. It was a well-kept secret that catered to one of the most influential figures in American history, President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was here that he could keep his wheelchair use away from prying eyes, maintaining his public image of robust health and vigor. The secrecy was paramount, given the era's views on disability. It was a time when physical ailments were often seen as a sign of weakness, something that could potentially undermine the authority of a nation's leader. So Roosevelt, a revered figure, was often transported in his custom-made armored presidential train car, which was equipped with an elevator that could lower him into the clandestine platform of Track 61. The platform was designed specifically to accommodate his armored train car, even equipped with a lift to raise Roosevelt and his vehicle to the street level. This allowed him to make his public appearances unaided, thus maintaining his strong, capable image in the public eye. In this covert world beneath the city, the president was free from the scrutiny of the public and the press. It was a sanctuary where he could navigate his disability in private, away from the judgmental gaze of the world above. And while we now know of its existence, Track 61 still remains shrouded in mystery, its access points secured and its use largely unknown. It's a fascinating testament to the lengths a government can go to protect the image of its leaders. A secret train station, right under our noses. It's a reminder that the world we see is often just the surface, and beneath it, there are stories waiting to be discovered, secrets waiting to be unveiled. Ever heard of Acoustic Kitty? It's not a band, I assure you. This might sound like something straight out of a James Bond movie, but in the clandestine corridors of the CIA during the Cold War, it was as real as it gets. In an audacious attempt to eavesdrop on Soviet conversations, the CIA turned to the world's most unsuspecting operatives, house cats. Yes, you heard that right. Cats. The idea was brilliant in its simplicity. Cats are everywhere, they're unassuming, and who would ever suspect a kitty of being a spy? This led to the birth of Operation Acoustic Kitty, a covert project that cost the CIA an estimated $20 million. The plan was to implant a microphone in the ear canal of a cat, a small radio transmitter at the base of its skull, and a thin wire into its fur to serve as an antenna. The cat was then supposed to roam around freely, picking up conversations and transmitting them back to the CIA. However, the feline agents proved to be not as cooperative as expected. Cats, as any cat owner would know, are independent creatures with minds of their own. Training them to follow commands and ignore distractions was a task that proved to be near impossible. The first mission of Acoustic Kitty ended in a catastrophe. The cat was released near a Soviet compound in Washington, D.C., but was tragically hit by a car while crossing the road. This unfortunate event marked the end of Operation Acoustic Kitty, with the project being considered a total loss. In retrospect, Operation Acoustic Kitty is a testament to the lengths that governments are willing to go in the pursuit of intelligence. It also serves as a reminder that while cats may have 9 lives, they may not necessarily make the best spies. It seems cats have more than 9 lives in the world of espionage. What if I told you human cadavers were once used for atomic tests? Yes, you heard that correctly. In a clandestine chapter of the Atomic Age, the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission conducted tests on human cadavers. This was not a macabre fascination, but rather a chilling scientific endeavor, aimed at understanding the effects of atomic radiation on the human body. What was the driving force behind these tests? During the mid-20th century, the world was in the throes of the Cold War. The threat of nuclear warfare loomed large, and governments were eager to comprehend the full implications of atomic energy. The U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, in its pursuit of knowledge, resorted to an unsettling method: testing on human cadavers. These cadavers were not volunteered for science, instead, they were procured without permission. This ethically dubious practice has since been condemned, but at the time the perceived exigency of the situation seemed to outweigh the moral concerns. The tests were conducted in absolute secrecy, away from the public eye. Scientists would expose the cadavers to radiation, then meticulously document the effects. These studies provided invaluable data about the human body's response to radiation, data that would ultimately shape policies and safety protocols related to atomic energy. But at what cost? The families of those whose bodies were used in these tests were kept in the dark. The individuals themselves, of course, had no say in the matter, and while the data gleaned from these tests may have been useful, the methods employed to obtain it were deeply troubling. So as we delve into the secrets of the U.S. government, we must grapple with these uncomfortable truths. In our quest for knowledge and security, we must always remember to uphold the values of respect, dignity, and consent. The story of the Atomic Energy Commission's tests on cadavers serves as a stark reminder of this. A chilling secret from the atomic age. Have you heard about the time the U.S. government considered committing acts of terrorism on its own soil? Let's delve into the clandestine corridors of Operation Northwoods, a chilling proposition that was thankfully never executed. In the early 60s, an era marked by the Cold War and escalating tensions, the U.S. Department of Defense conceived a plan that would shock the world. The objective was simple yet sinister: commit acts of terrorism on American soil and pin the blame on Cuba. Yes, you heard it right, a deliberate act of self-destruction, all to justify a war against Fidel Castro's regime. The operation was proposed by the Department of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The idea was to create a climate of fear and uncertainty, to turn public opinion against Cuba and provide the impetus for military intervention. The extent of these proposed false flag operations is indeed startling. It encompassed everything from bombing campaigns, sinking of boats carrying Cuban refugees, to even orchestrating violent terrorism in U.S. cities. With such drastic measures on the table, you might wonder, how did this plan get so far? Well, it was presented to the Kennedy administration by the Pentagon. But thankfully, President Kennedy had the wisdom and the integrity to reject this insidious proposal. He dismissed the plan, and soon after, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Lyman Lemnitzer, was reassigned, arguably in response to the proposal. Operation Northwoods remains a dark chapter in the annals of American history, a stark reminder of how far some were willing to go in the pursuit of geopolitical objectives. It's a testament to the importance of ethical leadership, and the checks and balances that prevent such plans from becoming a reality. A plot thankfully never put into action. Did you know the CIA once spied on journalists? Let's delve into this dark chapter of American history, known as Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird was a clandestine campaign hatched by the Central Intelligence Agency in the early years of the Cold War. Its primary objective? To manipulate news media for propaganda purposes. It's said that this operation sought to sway public sentiment and influence key decision-makers, all in the name of advancing the CIA's own geopolitical agenda. The operation purportedly involved the surveillance of journalists, the infiltration of news organizations, and even the direct manipulation of news reports. It was a sprawling web of influence that extended into the most respected newsrooms of the nation. It's said that the CIA had a number of journalists on its payroll, who were tasked with spinning stories in a certain way, often in favor of the agency's interests. While the full extent of Operation Mockingbird remains shrouded in secrecy, it's believed that the campaign was far-reaching. It wasn't just domestic journalists who were targeted. Foreign correspondents were also under surveillance, and some reports suggest that news agencies across the globe were infiltrated. But as the public grew more suspicious of government overreach in the wake of the Watergate scandal, Operation Mockingbird came under scrutiny. It was one of the many covert operations investigated by the Church Committee in the mid-70s. The committee's findings led to the establishment of strict guidelines to prevent the CIA from influencing domestic media. However, despite these safeguards, the legacy of Operation Mockingbird lingers on. It's a stark reminder of the length some will go to control information. It's a testament to the power of the press, and the importance of journalistic integrity in the face of potential manipulation. After all, in an era of unprecedented access to information, the battle for truth is more crucial than ever. A stark reminder of the lengths some will go to control information. What if I told you there might still be a missing hydrogen bomb? Now that's a chilling thought, isn't it? Picture this, a B-52 bomber, carrying a deadly payload of hydrogen bombs, crashes in the icy wilderness of Greenland. The crew manages to escape, but the weapons? Not all of them are accounted for. This isn't some alternate reality or a plot from a blockbuster movie. This is a genuine event that transpired. Yes, an American B-52 bomber on a Cold War patrol crashed in Greenland. The official reports insist all the bombs were destroyed in the crash, yet whispers and rumors suggest otherwise. Is there still a missing hydrogen bomb buried deep beneath the Arctic ice waiting to be discovered? The truth? Only a select few in the corridors of power might know. The rest of us are left to wonder and speculate. A hidden hydrogen bomb, a relic of the Cold War, potentially still out there. An explosive secret indeed. Ever seen a US Navy submarine flying the Jolly Roger flag? Traditionally, the Jolly Roger, a black flag adorned with a skull and crossbones, was a symbol of piracy. However, the sight of this flag on a US Navy submarine stirs a whole other pot of enigmas. The practice of submarines hoisting the Jolly Roger upon return from a successful mission began with the British Royal Navy during World War I. It was a bold, visual statement of victory, yet when it comes to the US Navy, the purpose behind this flag raising remains shrouded in mystery. One can only speculate about the missions and achievements such a flag may signify. Does it mark a successful stealth operation or perhaps the testing of some secretive technology? Or could it be a nod to some age-old naval tradition, kept alive in the depths of the ocean? The answers, it seems, are as elusive as the submarines themselves, submerged in the vast, uncharted waters of intrigue and speculation, a maritime mystery that still sails the high seas. Did you know that espionage is not a thing of the past? Although it may be easy to think of spying as something from a Cold War thriller, the reality is far from that. In fact, let's talk about two recent cases that prove just how real and current the world of espionage is. First, we have Xiang Haitao, a Chinese national who was sentenced to 29 months in prison. Why? Well, he was found guilty of stealing trade secrets from the agricultural company Monsanto, with the intention of benefiting the Chinese government. It's a tale straight out of a spy movie, isn't it? Then there's the case of Jonathan Toebe, a former US Navy engineer. Toebe pled guilty to attempting to sell secrets about nuclear submarines to a foreign power. He was caught red-handed with a digital memory card containing sensitive documents, which he planned to exchange for a cool $5 million in cryptocurrency. So, as you can see, the world of espionage is indeed alive and kicking.